Hi. Ooh, I would describe it as sculptural yet wannabe functional. I think that all of my work directly relates to plants, whether it's for seeds or plant environments or literal vessels to hold plants and flowers. I'm really interested in that kind of learning process between us, like human, and the natural world, and kind of relearning how to be wild and be a part of that architecture again and more fully. So, yeah. Yeah. So I think that I discovered the style just through the process of trying out what layering would look like, to practice some different textural techniques, and I was really attracted to that sedimentary reference of time and like slow time and place in a big way, kind of landscape, etc. And so I use a lot of sand to really emphasize that texture as well, and found myself just making all kinds of shapes and motifs with those layers that would represent whatever sort of form I'm working toward. And all of the layers are made with a big slab that I roll out with a rolling pin. I dash a bunch of sand down and roll it out. It's a lot like sugar cookies, and then I just tear the slab up into whatever I need for the form. So some forms end up with a lot of solid, not so much negative space, but other forms have tons of air and movement throughout. So. Momentum Gaudium Sigma Vitae. It's a Latin for remember joy, signs of life. And Zara and I chose to use the Latin to reference to the Latin names for plants and talk about joy and life through relationships with clay and plants and people. So I think at this time in our country, in our world, the coronavirus and so much unrest and so much like good unrest, I think we wanted to emphasize this process of grief, of protection and joy, but most especially life and rebirth and growing. Yeah, I will just kind of reiterate themes of joy for my pieces specifically. Zara is a real treat. She dove into specific symbology much more than I did. Things like protection and friendship and rest. But a lot of my pieces are just kind of this audacious idea of trying, and although now that I mention it, I will say that there is one collaborative piece in particular that really embodies rest really well. And these pieces behind me are all multiples that will come together to be one large piece that will sort of talk about rest and quiet and death. But it hopefully will be beautiful and can kind of incite that richness and the beauty and joy. So. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting everyone. Honestly, it's just my favorite part has just been the expectation to just explode work, you know, and just make as much as I can, and without feeling that occupation in my mind of needing to go somewhere else and work, you know, or like have other responsibilities elsewhere. I think having a residency is a really wonderful opportunity to just embody being a maker, and frankly never having to apologize for it, and to really embrace that moving forward after the residency is over. And so with that said, I would just encourage the residents to like be around, take your headphones out and just talk to people, and just make a lot of stuff, but also balance and rest and stretch. Go outside. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.